All right, welcome back to the show, and it's time to talk some footy. I don't know if you guys heard, but Lionel Messi is going to MLS. What does that mean? Does anybody care? Here's Sara Poraria.
Messi, Miami, MLS, Moss, money, and mayhem. The undisputed GOAT is heading to North America, and nothing will ever be the same again. At least that's according to Inter Miami managing owner Jorge Mas, who described Messi's $60 million a year move as an era-defining before and after moment for MLS. Hyperbole aside, there's definitely some poetic irony here. Messi will arrive at a club part owned by David Beckham, the former Galactico and England captain who also played a starring role in a before and after moment for North American soccer. Bex was supposed to bring MLS into the big time when he left Real Madrid for LA Galaxy back in 2007. But in reality, he probably did little more than boost shirt sales and blaze a retirement trail for aging European greats. So was Jorge Mas overreaching again when he claimed that Messi's arrival could transform MLS into either the greatest league in the world or at least one of the top two? Well, while the Premiership, Bundesliga, and La Liga try and figure out which one of them will occupy that other spot, the rest of us are left to wonder what Messi at Inter Miami actually means. Are we about to see the World Cup winner reunited with former teammates like Sergio Aguero and Busquets? Is the footballing world finally going to give a shit about a league with no promotion or relegation? Will Messi finally rediscover his love for the game after an awful Parisian misadventure? Or is his arrival in Miami proof that that tearful, mismanaged exit from Barcelona really did kill Messi's soul for good? Either way, the next couple of seasons are bound to be interesting. And there's plenty on the line for all kinds of interested parties as MLS is officially rebranded Messi League Soccer later this summer.
Well, look who it is.
Holy.
Miss Inappropriate Language.
How
dare you?
You have to blame editor Edwin for that
No
one.
one knows who that is, so it's your fault. Lionel Messi.
Wow,
is coming
just
to
ripped the MLS a new one. The whole
Messi Soccer League.
Yeah.
disrespect to
I think
David
things are about
Beckham
to
too.
get messy in here.
The disrespect to David Beckham is the reason Messi is in the MLS because he set the trail. He blazed the trail for these retirement path players.
But no one's coming when they're young. No one's coming when they're in their prime. Messi's going to come, Messi's going to go, and MLS is going to be just as bad as it was. That's the biggest concern I have with all of this. Messi's going to be here for a year, maybe two. That's the agreement. And it's going to be a circus, right? For those 2 years. Anywhere this Miami team goes, it's going to be bananas. When this guy leaves, these Miami fans are going to stick around? No chance. No way. No way. And also all the visiting fans, all the places that they're going to, Chicago, Toronto, LA, all these fans that are going to see Messi, you think they're going to go to those games after that? No way. It's not. Honestly, it's going to be a peak, like a really big peak.
Well, that's the hope,
right?
It's going to be a slow build. Messi can bring them in. Hopefully they stay.
But the whole idea is that you should be also getting players, though, that are younger and in their prime. Because even though Messi is still, in my opinion, completely...
It's Messi, Sarah.
Yeah, it is. But then he's going to leave, and then it's going to be just as bad as it was.
Could be. Could possibly be. Gareth Bale was in MLS. He actually won MLS with LAFC. He scored the latest goal in MLS history. Did you guys know that? Well, now you know. Listen.
In MLS history?
Yeah, MLS history.
I thought
in the final.
Yeah,
in the final.
Last
Yeah.
in MLS Cup,
Yeah, I remember the game. They went into OT and he
Latest
scored
goal
it.
in MLS
Maxim
history.
Krapol
In
unfortunately
MLS
broke his
final
leg.
history.
No, in MLS history.
No, because
Google it.
what do
We'll do
you
a
mean
Google.
by that?
Okay.
Anyway, listen.
There were games last night. Those are MLS goals. I don't understand. Yeah,
Yes, Gareth Bale
don't
played
understand.
in MLS, and he was asked about Messi and basically his time in MLS, and this is what he had to say.
And I'll just ask, obviously, with Messi going to the MLS, what was your experiences out there and what could he expect? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, no, it's good. It's a lot more chilled. Like, if you lose at Madrid, it's like the world's ended. You crucified, you feel down, you go home, you're not happy. As where they kind of accept losing a bit more, and I think there's no consequence to, you can't get relegated, you can't, you just lose a game, you go to the next one. They kind of accept losing a lot better over there, and they know how to lose, but they also, every win, they celebrate like you've won a championship. So you'll definitely enjoy it. The travel's difficult, like just away games like 4 or 5 hours. If you go and play in Texas, bring a breathing mask, basically. But yeah, the things that you don't see is like the humidity, the travel. They do have a big effect, and especially when you're playing so many games. So, but he'll enjoy it. He'll be great for America, great for the MLS, and obviously with the World Cup being there in 3 years' time, it will grow the game even bigger.
First of all, before we dissect that, shout out to those 3 Tottenham legends: Jermaine Genius,
Peter Crouch,
and Gareth Bale. Gaza, have you figured out the latest thing yet? Have you computed that one?
No, I just stopped thinking about it.
Okay. What did you think about what Bill had to say there? The things that no one sees, the travel.
I mean, I don't think that's not no one sees it. Look how big America is. And then you have Toronto and Vancouver and Montreal added into that, right? Like this is massive. Look at the size of Spain compared to the United States. You're bopping all over the place for 1 hour, 2 hours, maybe max. But yeah, there's a lot going into these guys and their endurance and traveling. And then also, humidity, I think, is something that we experience a lot more here in North America than when you're in Europe, especially if you're like coastal.
You would have felt something similar, obviously, in playing in South America.
Yeah,
playing
for
at
sure.
altitude,
Yeah,
right?
for sure. But Bale didn't play there, obviously. But I think the biggest takeaway from this is the mentality about losing. And
That's so interesting to me.
he's so right, though. They have nothing to lose because if they come 20th in MLS, they're right back in it next season. Start from the beginning.
Yeah, well, it's a North American format, North American style.
Yeah,
so
but
it's the NBA, the
but
NHL.
football is not North
Right, it's not the
American,
same.
so you're
But
comparing
this
it.
is what they want to do. There will never, I think, in our lifetime, I could be wrong, I don't think there'll ever be promotion or relegation.
No, there's just no.
But that
These owners are buying these teams because these teams cannot get bumped out of the leagues. That's too much of a
yeah,
risk
but
if
the
you're
thing
a
is, I
businessman
think that's how
or
you
woman.
also grow it, though, because there's actually things at stake. There's something to play
I totally
for.
agree. And I think that's why they introduced this Leagues Cup.
Yeah.
Where you have all MLS teams, all Liga MX teams. This is where Messi is supposed to make his debut July 21st against Cruz Azul. It's group stage, it's knockouts. So there's more to that in terms of win or lose. So maybe that's the reason why they want to bring in Messi during this time.
It's just a North American sport. It's a business before anything else. It's not competition.
That's unfortunate.
There's no history really rooted like you see across the globe in world soccer, where there's just clubs that have started from basically nothing and become giants.
Messi to MLS is a business move.
It is a business.
It's a business move before it's a soccer move.
The business part of it, the whole league invested in Messi coming to MLS. Right, the Apple deal. He's got a piece of the Adidas, the shirt sales, and all of that stuff. He's gonna own a piece of Inter Miami. Like this is just for the league. It's not. It's for Messi monetarily building his brand, but it's also for the league to have some sort of legitimacy to it. Because, like you did mention, it is probably 6th or 7th in people's viewing schedules or
Okay, let me ask you this. Me and
North
Sarah,
America.
diehard soccer
Yes.
fans. So you like soccer,
Yeah.
but you're not tuning in every single week. Would Messi go in MLS, does that make you want to tune in?
I will watch this first game, of
Like,
course.
will you go out of your way to track down an Inter Miami game against Chicago FC?
But that's the thing. You're going out of your way to track down Inter Miami. You're going to watch Real Salt Lake and LA Galaxy?
If he play, no.
Exactly.
I won't. If
That's
he,
the point. It's,
The only times I will watch Messi play in the MLS is if he's playing here in Toronto and I can get a chance to go see.
Okay.
Right? I'll go if he's in Vancouver and I can get a chance to go. I will go see him there, or Seattle, somewhere where I would not. I'll tune in to watch the first game he plays just to see the spectacle. But after that, I'm just trying to find a place where I can go see
So you're
him
not
live.
going to watch him on TV after that. You're trying to go
No.
and see him only. So that, like, even as like a a neutral fan, that's exactly my point. They're going to see the big spectacle. Us as football fans, me as a Messi fan personally, I will watch every Miami game just for him. But I'm not watching.
And you'll get a lot of those.
Those
The
other
reason I think
games.
this won't work too is the average fan, when Messi was at Barcelona or at PSG, they weren't going out of their way to watch that game.
They're
It's the
watching the
truth.
big
The average
games.
fan wasn't going out of their way to watch Messi
We
play.
watched the El Clasico
in the
against Real
27th
Madrid.
game of the La Liga season.
Exactly.
That's just the truth. And the same thing is going to happen with the MLS. I mean, initially, you're going to go and watch those games because, like, oh my God, Messi in North America playing in MLS. And I think that's going to die down a little bit. The average fan's not going to go and seek this out. They didn't do
Exactly.
it before. They're not going to do it now.
It was the same thing when Beckham came, right? It was a big spectacle when Beckham came. Everybody wanted to see Beckham play. Even when Henry came, Rooney, all of that. But after that,
He was the first.
it was the first thing, right? I remember, I think it was when Henry first came, and everybody thought he was going to play in Vancouver. I got tickets to the game, thought I could
The
see him.
worst.
Doesn't show up.
That's
right?
the
how
other
many
thing.
games? Okay, maybe not you, but how many games did you see Messi play for in a PSG shirt? Don't count Champions League.
No, straight French league.
Yes,
None.
exactly.
Only Champions League.
So how the hell are they going to pull it off in MLS? That's how I'm
Well,
looking at
I
this
mean,
thing.
they're working hard to advertise, and I
Yeah.
think that's all they can hold on to. But it's so true. Like when you were mentioning Beckham and TT, like I went to see those guys play at BMO But I wasn't watching every New York game after that. I wanted to see them play live, right? I saw them play live, but I wasn't.
I hope it works. Listen, I hope it works.
For sure. We hope for North America, but I'm saying as the pattern has shown and what I expect with just football here, we are not there yet. And I cannot see Messi being able to just turn this league upside down. I know he's the GOAT. I know he's the God, but he can't, turn an entire league around, I don't think.
Well, Pele played in North America too, back in the 70s. And it still hasn't moved the needle, right? I think it's...
Well, it has.
It has. It's grown
it has.
exponentially, right? But it's not to where... I don't think it will ever reach the stages what it is globally, because in North America, the mindset of sports and sports fans is so much different, right? People follow the players now more so than teams. Where you look in
That's
Europe,
really true.
people will live and die for their team, right? People will live and die for the crest on the shirt. Where here, people will just hop from team to team wherever their favorite player goes, and that's the mentality.
I mean, MLS teams are selling out stadiums. It's the truth. Cincinnati is. Who would ever think Cincinnati?
What else are you gonna do in Cincinnati?
Well, because I didn't want
What else are you gonna do? The Bengals aren't playing right now. You're gonna watch the Reds play?
The game has grown massively. And thanks to guys like Pele and David Beckham, and Thierry Henry, and now Lionel Messi. I think 10, 15 years down the road, we'd be like, well, this is the Messi effect. Will it be as big as maybe some think? Probably not. But it's a big deal, man. It's Messi coming to MLS.
Yeah.
Let's watch the first few games and be happy that he's still playing, because he's not going to be playing for a very long time. We get very sad when we lose these players and these players retire, and you start to think, man, I wish I watched a lot more of that guy.
Yeah.
So when you have the chance to watch him now. Props.
That was beautiful.